folks. For today's video, I needed to do my makeup for another video, and I thought I could do a fun little like nostalgic walking down memory lane, get ready with me, because I'd been wanting to do one talking about a specific time in my life when I went to go see my favorite band, We Are Scientists, in San Francisco, because I haven't talked about music in a while, and I didn't really have anything else specific to talk about in today's video because the content that's going up on Friday is a little more imperative than today, and I thought we could have a nice little chill chat. Also, my glasses are very dirty. I need to clean them. Hi. Do I just want to dump all this on the floor? I kind of want to just dump all this on the floor. It's not the bed, but it's the closest thing we're gonna get. And we are gonna be using this palette today because I felt like it. 12 years ago, I went to go see We Are Scientists 3 different times over the course of 2 weeks. I've done this several times where I've gone to see them like 3 times in a row to like Seattle, Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver. That was, I think, 2014 when I did that in 3 days. That's a whole nother story. That was 3 days of madness where I was like, I went to their Portland show, drove up, went to their Vancouver show, and then the very next day went to the Seattle show. I didn't get a lot of sleep that weekend. The particular time that I wanted to talk about is back in 2009, back when I was 21, and like right after I had turned 21, and I went to San Francisco with my friends to go see them. So We Are Scientists, they're an indie rock band. They've been around for God, almost like at least 15 years now. Their first record came out in like 2005, and I discovered them around that time, and then I rediscovered them when I was in college, when I was in my dorm room by myself. And then I joined their message board. They had, they called it the Sky Cave, like scientists, the Sky Cave. A bunch of my friends who I still talk to this day. My friend Erin, who I actually got to see a couple months ago, who was visiting from Philly. I had never met her before. I had known her from the Sky Cave, and that was back in 2008 at that point, when I kind of rediscovered and fell in love with this band when their second record came out, called Brain Thrust Mastery. The next year, when I was living at home, they went on tour, and it was July where they played in Portland and Seattle, and then the beginning of August where they played in San Francisco. And I had a bunch of friends who were going to the San Francisco show, a couple of friends who were going to the Portland show. I found one of my plumping lip glosses, my like super plumping lip gloss. Before this, I was going through looking for stuff, and I couldn't find what I was looking for, but I found the plumping lip gloss, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna put this on. I forgot how spicy it was. Nisa, I blame you. Nisa was like, yeah, the Ulta plumped up pout lip gloss, it's really great. I put it on, and I was like,
my lips are on fire.
It was July 26th, where they played in Portland, and then July 28th, where they played in Seattle, and then August 7th, where they played in San Francisco. So I went down and I visited some friends who I met on the message board to go to the Portland show, and it was a 21 and over show, and this was the first time I'd ever been to the Doug Fir, and the Doug Fir is now one of my favorite venues like I've ever been to. Like Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, anywhere I've ever been to a venue, Doug Fir is like probably like my top, I don't want to say top 5, but I might say top 5, like realistically top 7, because it's so comfortable, it's so pretty, it's air conditioned, it's in the basement of a bar with a hotel connected. Back when they played in 2014, when I went to go with some other friends, we got hammered and stayed in the hotel that night. It was great because we just got to like go to the show, get drunk, walk upstairs, sleep, and it was awesome. But in 2009, when I went to go see them, because it was a 21 and over show, my friend Adrienne, who was not 21 at the time, she had seen them so many times, and like they knew who she was. She was like a very big fan of them, to the point where like they knew who she was, and she actually got to just like go be backstage because she wasn't 21 yet and she wanted to see the show, and they were like, here, come hang out backstage. And she's like, okay. She didn't actually get to go to the Portland show, and then also the Seattle show was 21 and over as well, and so she didn't get to go to that one either. But a couple of my other friends and I did. I got to photograph it. It was so wonderful. It was the third time I'd seen them, because I'd seen them in, was this 2010 actually? This might have been 2010. I'll have to look. It was either 2009 or 2000. No, it was 2010 because in 2008 was the first time I saw them because it was like freshman year of college. Right after freshman year of college, I saw We Are Scientists with another band called Cut Off Your Hands, and then the Morning Benders, who are now Pop Etc. They're previously known as the Morning Benders. And so I got to see them in 2008. And then in 2010, that's what it was. I was like, what year was it? I can't keep my years straight. It was 11 years ago, almost 12. We went to the Seattle show. They played an in-store, like an acoustic in-store earlier in the day. And I wasn't living in Seattle at the time. I was still living at home with my parents. So we like drove up for the day and like had a whole day of it, went and got food, went to the in-store, went and got cupcakes and stuff. And then like hung out after the show, and we were those annoying fangirls. Like, we gotta talk to the guys, we gotta talk to the band afterward, because, you know, we were 21 years old, and that's what you do when you're 21. You're kind of obnoxious. We stayed after the show, we stayed super, super late, and I drove home in the middle of the night. 9 days later, we went to San Francisco, and I remember when I asked my mom, I was expecting her to say no. I was expecting her to be like, no, you don't need to go to San Francisco, you've already seen them twice, don't. But my mom was like, yeah, you're 21. I drove to Minnesota when I was 21. You can do it. And I'm like, what? Huh? Like, you're letting me go? I had never done one of these long road trips before. I don't know if I hadn't even done Music Fest Northwest yet. So I hadn't even done my like Portland annual road trips yet. So this was new for me. So my mom telling me that I could go was very surprising. And so I met up with my friends in Portland the night before we decided to drive down. And we stayed in Portland for the night and then left early the next morning and got to San Francisco in one day. We drove for 11 hours and made it to San Francisco. And then the next day, we met up with some more friends who were coming up from LA. And these are friends like that I still like cherish to this day, like so much. I've been to so many shows with them. We met up with some friends who were in San Francisco. Again, friends that I still talk to and I still love to this day. That we all just met on a freaking message board for our favorite band, which is just so bizarre just to think about that, like, oh yeah, no, like some of the like people that I consider to be some of my best friends, I didn't get to see them for very much of my life, of my time being their friend, because they live far away. But the only reason we became friends was because we liked the same band a lot. And actually, a couple of the people who were on the message board, one who I haven't met yet because she lives in, I don't know if she still lives in Wales. I don't know. And then my other friend who is from San Francisco, they're the reason why I started like doing photography, like concert photography. Because they were doing it, and I was like, that's so fucking cool, guys. Like, what lens do I buy? And so they told me what lens to buy, and away we went. But we met up in San Francisco, and we didn't go to Amoeba until the next day. That day, we went around downtown San Francisco. We went up Lombard Street. We drove up. That was a nightmare. It's the one that is windy. Why we ever thought that was a good idea, I don't know. We drove around. I was the one driving. We just did some San Francisco sightseeing. I want to live it. Oh, it's like Full House. Say hi, Adrian. There's Abby again. And we just spent the day like being tourists. And then we went and met up at Slim's, which is no longer a venue, unfortunately. Slim's ceased to exist now. COVID killed it, unfortunately. I'm pretty positive that's the reason. So the venue doesn't exist anymore. I still have my ticket somewhere sitting around in I think it's in my ticket stub diary, which I made a video about like during last Vlogmas. Speaking of Vlogmas, also side note, I'm going to be doing some sort of Vlogmas, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing every single day because I wasn't really streaming on Twitch last year much when I was doing Vlogmas, and I was pretty much at home by myself most of the time, so I was, just being able to preoccupy my time with filming and editing and keeping myself sane with all of that, even though it was kind of driving me insane half the time. I'm gonna be doing Vlogmas, don't you worry, but it probably won't be a video every day. Because it's already October, and if I was gonna be doing a video every day, I would have to start filming those videos like now. So, it'll probably be maybe like a video every other day. That's what I'm thinking, rather than every day. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Just because YouTube isn't my full-time thing. That's what that's gonna be. Back to my story. We met up at Slim's. early because we're like, we want to get in first because again, we were annoying 21-year-olds, like baby 21-year-olds, still kind of acting like all ages show attendees. We're like, we have to get in first because we have to get up at the front. Like, we have to save our spot. Although I was taking photos. So no, I actually wasn't taking photos that night. I didn't do photos. I did video. I did video, which I have some video that I will overlay over the top. It looks like absolute trash. And that night, I can honestly say, was some of the most fun I've ever had at a show, like in my life. And I've been going to live music, to see live music since 2009 regularly. 2008 was when I first like actually went to like a club gig, which was We Are Scientists. What color do I want to use? I'm gonna take a little bit of nude mauve. This is just a really great transition shade. Also, I got new earrings. They're from, I think it's Comfy Creations? Crafty Creations. Crafty. They're little bats. It's freaking bats. I love Halloween. We all got up to the front. We're singing along to everything. And the opening guy, the opening artist, who goes by Rewards, Aaron Fenning is his name. He had some solo music and was wonderful. He was so fun. He used to be in the band Chairlift, like way back in the day. They had a song in an iPod commercial. I got bruises on my knees for you and grass stains on my knee. That one. He was in that band, but then he was doing solo stuff and he was opening for We Are Scientists. And he was a treat. He was so much fun. And like we talked to him a ton after the show too. It was so cool. The video that we have of all of us just like screaming at the top of our lungs, singing the lyrics to these songs is so funny and silly and nostalgic. Like, I love watching them though, because it makes me happy. Like, it really does. I intended on doing this look as like a festival look for going nowhere, but that's not what we're doing apparently. Now I'm gonna take Rebellion, this like dark burgundy shade. We're gonna do like a red smoky eye, like a burgundy smoky eye with some shimmer. My friend Adrienne, she made these weird little dolls that I have some sitting in a box somewhere, like little dolls of the guys in like different outfits.
Also, why is the jumpsuit shorts and
pajamas? You can't make fun of the top right now.
They actually used it for the cover of one of their singles, which I find just fucking hysterical. Like, they commissioned her to make these weird dolls for their fucking single cover. God, this color's so fun. It's like so cranberry. This palette's way more cranberry than I expected them to be, but I like it. But that night, we were staying at a different hotel. I remember we were staying in like a really cool, fancy, old-fashioned one. And like one of the rooms, there was like a room connected to ours. It was like there was a step up to the bed and like the walls were red, like this color red. We called it our sex dungeon because it was just this red room that was just big enough for a bed. And we're like, okay, like we didn't get the honeymoon suite. What's happening? This was back before like San Francisco had been completely overrun by tech bros. Like, it was still cool in like all parts of it, but I remember we got back so late and like there's video where we're just exhausted and fangirling and being the biggest dorks. Oh my God. But then the next day, the show was on August 7th. We drove in the day before in the evening. And then the next day, August 8th. So we got there mid to late day, August 6th. August 7th was the show. August 8th, we left. And August 8th, we did some more tourist stuff. We went to Haight-Ashbury and we went to Amoeba, and that was super, super cool. We went and got really cheap pizza, Fat Slice or something. It was like a giant piece of pizza and it was like $2 or something. I was like, this is like Costco prices. This is awesome. And if you've never been to Amoeba Records, do they still have it in San Francisco? I know they closed one of them, but I don't know if it's still in San Fran. But Haight-Ashbury was very, very cool. This was the second time I'd been to Haight-Ashbury, second time I'd been to San Francisco, because I'd went during junior year of high school for a newspaper convention, because I was a newspaper dork. Literally, I went to newspaper conventions 3 years in a row in high school. Once I get my journals back from my mom, we are going down memory lane so often. Holy moly. once I get those. They're in the garage at my parents' house, so I have to go dig for them. There will be plenty more stories about San Francisco and other shenanigans from my early 20s and late teens once I find my diaries. Call me Harriet the Spy because I got secrets. Not really, realistically. Once I started making YouTube videos, I kind of stopped writing mostly in my journals because I was like, oh, this is a new avenue for that. When I first started, oversharing far too much, but you know, you live and you learn. You're like, I probably shouldn't share this much of my life with the internet. Probably a good idea. And I've stopped doing that, thankfully. So this is the shade Jude. Now, I think I want to do Psychedelic as my inner corner. This like very bright, kind of shimmery, almost like flaky shimmery. This one reminds me, honestly, this kind of flaky texture. It reminds me a little bit actually of the flaky color, the flaky ones in this Midas palette, the Perception one. It reminds me of like these ones textures. Yeah, it totally does. Similar texture across the board. Get in there. Okay, now I have to do cheeks. But yeah, we went to Haight-Ashbury, we went to Amoeba, we went and got pizza, we drove around and saw all the houses like they had in Full House. It was very cute. I love San Francisco so much. Like, I used to say that if there was anywhere in California that I would ever want to live, it would be San Francisco. Now, I probably would say otherwise because San Francisco is just as much, if not more expensive than Seattle. I would want to live in like a suburb of San Francisco. But I've been to San Francisco a total of Newspaper, We Are Scientists, VidCon 3 times, I think. Yeah, we drove through on a road trip to VidCon. That could be a whole nother story. Oh my god. I'll do that as another story time. Nostalgic story time. Here we go. Let's talk about VidCon 2012. Holy shit. We drove back home that day. We drove through the Golden Gate Bridge. We drove over it and we drove straight home. I dropped my friends off in Portland and I drove straight home from San Francisco in one day. I got home so late, like so unbelievably late. Such a fun and fond memory because this is the only time that like all of those friends have been together to see a band. And like I've been to plenty of other shows with other people that were like individuals from that group of friends. Like Adrian and I have gone to so many shows together. Renee and I have seen so many shows together, mostly Spoon and Phoenix. Pretty much just Spoon and Phoenix. Every time Spoon has played up here and I've seen them, Renee has been there. Except for at Sasquatch. Yeah, and then that next year when I started shooting shows and I got like a ticket to go see Spoon, I got a backstage pass for no reason. That's a whole other story. Could again be another time. Blush. Okay. We're gonna use my cover effects. This is in Pink Dahlia. Haven't used this one a lot lately. But yeah, and then We Are Scientists when they played in 2014. Renee and Adrian were both there. And we all got hammered. We got so drunk. We got so hammered. We're like, why are we trying to keep up with Keith? Like, what the Like, that man could drink us under the table, even though he's like 100 pounds soaking wet. I swear to God. We went to see them in Idaho back in 2011. They played like an event at like the University of Idaho, like an orientation event. It was like them and Rah Rah Riot. And I remember we went and people were like, oh, what dorm are you in? We're like, oh, we don't go here. We just came to see the bands. Like we literally drove to Idaho just to see We Are Scientists in one day.
One knows that nobody's gonna get hurt. So move, 'cause nobody wants to get out.
Yeah, so in 2014 was when I did the 3 days in a row thing, which was fucking unhinged. Literally, why? And then 2016, they came back and played at the Crocodile. It was right after Josh and I started dating and he came with me. And like, there's this video that I have of me just introducing Josh to Chris. Like Chris is my dad or something. This is my boyfriend, Josh.
Hi.
Josh is behind.
This is Chris.
Good to meet you, Chris.
God, I love them. They came back and played Bumbershoot a couple months later that year. And then they've been back one more time. It was like 2018 or 2019. It was 2018, I think. But they have a new record that's out like, what, like right now? Is it out? Is it out this week? Did I plan this? I didn't plan this. I think Huffy's out this week. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That's great, actually. another subscriber a couple months back sent me this again. Thank you. I was like, oh, okay. They're like, I have an extra one. And I was like, what? So I have this now. They're some of my favorite dudes, and I appreciate them as people and as a band so much because their stupid little message board brought so many wonderful friends to me. And like right before the pandemic started, this is literally one of my biggest regrets in the last couple of years. Right before the pandemic, they played a show. They had shows scheduled in the UK, in London, in Edinburgh, one other one, I don't remember. And they were playing all the way through with Love and Squalor, which is their first record. And they were gonna have their original drummer, Michael Tapper, come play at those shows with them. And he hadn't played with them since like, I'd only seen him play with them the first year I ever saw them, back in like, no, I had never seen Tapper play with We Are Scientists because he had already left the band by the time Brain Thrust Mastery came out. Well, he was in the process of leaving the band, but I never saw him play with them at all. But I've seen him play in his other band that he played in after We Are Scientists. I saw Yellow Ostrich and I got to meet him. That was great. That was fucking surreal as shit. Yeah, I like went and I talked to him afterwards and I was like, hi, I've been like a fan of yours since like We Are Scientists days, and like I've never got to see you play with them, but like thank you for existing. And like he was so kind and gracious, and I was like, oh, this is so weird. The 3 shows in the UK, it was literally like December of 2019. And I was so ready to buy a ticket. I was so fucking ready to buy a ticket to the UK because I've never been. And I have so many friends who live there who would be willing to let me stay. So I wouldn't have to worry about like lodging. And Erin was going, my friend from Philly. We were planning things out. She went to go see James McAvoy doing like a theater thing. And we were gonna go to that, and it was gonna be fantastic. It was gonna be magical, and I was gonna get to see my favorite band play with like the original drummer and like play through the first fucking record, and it was gonna be awesome. But I decided against it because that was the first year I was doing Vlogmas, and I was like, I'm gonna hold off on it. And also I should be more responsible with my money. Little did I know I would spend the next year not really spending money, but I saved money during quarantine because I wasn't going out. I wasn't going out and buying tickets to shows or drinking or going out to restaurants. Like I was eating at home. So do I wish I had gone? Absolutely. Absolutely. I wish I would have gone. That would have been the best like send off to be like, okay, now we don't get to do anything for 2 years. Almost. I didn't go, and I'm so regretful of not going because it would have been so cool. I need to put on lip gloss. Ooh, I forgot I had this. Literally, I found like 3 lip glosses when I was going through boxes, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot I had this like random like sample size of a Pat McGrath lip gloss. I think it's called Dare to Bear. It's like kind of milky, but like translucent enough to not be like weird looking on the lips. Cause I really don't like milky glosses that are too like full coverage to where like it shows in the lip lines. Like this one like doesn't do that. Like the texture of it's really good. Yeah. That's my little walk down memory lane about We Are Scientists because I just wanted to talk about music. You know, I just wanted to talk about my favorite band because it makes me happy. And I haven't talked about music in a long time here. Besides just like song of the day stuff. I mean, I talk about music in every single video, but I haven't done like a dedicated, like, let me just talk about music for a half an hour for no reason. Like, it makes me happy. And just like life's too short to not get emotionally attached to fictional characters, it's also too short to not just ramble on about your favorite things for a while. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you guys like this look. This is the retro palette. Does it really look that retro? No, like it kind of just looks like every other like mauve-y cranberry neutrals palette. It's pretty, I'm not mad, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys want to follow me anywhere else, please do that on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. My Instagram and my Twitter are Abers07, and then my Twitch is just Abers without the 07. So follow me there if you want to follow me anywhere. And then subscribe to this YouTube channel. I upload a couple of videos a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. So if you want to stay updated to when I'm uploading new things, hit the bell notification so you can get notified when I upload new shit. And then as far as today's song of the day goes, obviously it's a We Are Scientists song, and I'm gonna make it textbook from the first record because it's one of my favorite songs and it's so good, and it's one of my favorite moments during the show because Keith always goes out into the crowd and like brings along the mic cord and is like in the crowd and singing, and it's just so good. It's like my favorite part of the show. Yeah, let me know if you guys have ever listened to We Are Scientists or what your favorite band is in the comments down below. Please let me know what your favorite band is, like what your favorite music is, what music makes you really, really happy, whether that's like anime theme songs or like pop music or like a metal band. Like, let me know. Let's talk about your favorite bands, please. It makes me happy. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. I hope you are staying safe. I hope you are getting enough sleep. Stay hydrated. I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.
It was like the best day in the whole wide world.
Was today the best day in the whole wide world, Adrian?
Fuck yes, it was.